And here we are at round 2 of the Praga Cup. 5 red lights, 8 got starting in first with Dreamer close behind, and away they go. A little bit of a slow start from everyone. That is owing to the just the way these cars seem to start off the grid. And Nemo going for a move around the outside in turn 1, not going to quite make it stick. Klein going up the inside of Dreamer though, as he just gets past there for the first hairpin, getting round up the inside of Got now as well. Amazing sights we're seeing at the start of this Grand Prix. Slotting into order as Heejun and Lando having a bit of a battle for 4th and 5th. Heejun currently out on top. Lando 2/10 behind though. Could be a potential another move in the next corner. But we'll have to wait and see now as they're through that corner down the straight. Here we go. Lando getting a move on Heejun. 0 seconds behind. They're side by side down the straight. Is he going to make it stick on the outside for this turn? Fast right-hander. Still side by side. Can he make the move stick? Ooh, going on the grass a bit, and that's going to let Heejun go in front, really slowing him down there. Heejun just getting past that. That was some amazing action from Lando and Heejun. Good racing. Lando just not able to quite keep it on track. Really looking to try and gain that time back. It is a 42-lap race, about an hour on this race. Not quite sure what the lap times are going to be yet, but we'll soon find out as Clasher passes Johnson back in for 15th place, and Barber passing for 11th. And Foxy Bitkins retired. I do wonder what incident caused that. Potentially a lap 1 incident. Quite get to see it as we see. I can't tell which one's up the inside and which one's not. It's going to be Baldini up the inside of Perry as we get some amazing camera angles coming into these corners with this side-by-side action. Baldini just about coming out on top, but Perry's going to have the inside line for the next corner. Can he make it stick? Not quite. Perry's just going to slip just behind Baldini there. As Benes passes Steele in 12th place. Well, he's come back for the move. Side by side through that fast right-hander. Probably going to be side by side through the next corner as well. Can't quite tell. 1/10 in it, less than a 10th in it. And Perry, just like Lando's going to be out on the grass. That's going to let Baldini through. Perry now probably feeling quite disappointed in himself. Potentially even saw what Lando did before. That pressure and really not knowing their track space all too well. Obviously only got a 15-minute practice qualifying. And, Barber now looking up the inside of Perry. Quite go for the move just yet. Potentially going to look at the end of the straight. So we come on to the finish straight now. So we got Klein, Dreamer, Heejun, 5th Lando, 6th Swanson, 7th Petrovic, 8 Mad, 9 Baldini as Steele's going up the inside of M. Barber. Goes a little bit wide, but there's just enough space for him. Just about still up the inside. Looks like going to be a move on the hairpin. Oh! Phoenix coming right up the back end of Steele there. Really coming from far behind, potentially a lock up there. Phoenix is still going to be behind. Lost a bit of time during that incident. Still lost a bit of time on Benes as well. Down the main straight, taking 16th is M. Young from Johnson, and 20th Jay Forrest from Linus. Matt Hoss has retired. Oh, Matt, no, what happened? That's another retirement in this race. The fight between 15th and 16th Clasher and Young. That is a fight for a points-paying position. Can't quite remember what the point system is. It's the same as the Brit Car Championships. You can look that up on Wikipedia if you want. And, Johnson and Clasher now fighting. Clasher just getting out ahead. The outside line actually working for him. We haven't seen that work for anyone yet. And following Johnson now as he's up the inside of Clasher for this next corner. Is he going to make the move stick, or is it going to be all the way down the next straight? Let's find out. Looks like he's just slotted behind him, and The second Petrovic going to be looking up the inside of Oliver. Is he going to make the move stick? Can't really see. Ooh, getting close there on the exit. Coming up to the hairpin now, and it's not quite 3 wide. Willard really thinking better of that and sticking behind Petrovic. Oh no, we're looking behind Willard now, behind Forrest. Awesome. Petrovic and Johnson still side by side. Can't believe this. It's been side by side now for about half a lap. It's Jay Forrest and Willard side by side now. Forrest getting the pass on Willard. Dropping behind there. And Oliver Johnson looks like he's gotten ahead of Petrovic now. So that battle is over. Looking up to the front, it looks like Gott's getting a decent, healthy lead. About 1 second there. I'm sure Klein can catch up though. And Forrest taking 18th from Petrovic. Looks like it was a clean pass. Always nice to see. Oh, Liner's going right around the outside as we cut away from that. What a shame. But Dreamer getting the run on Klein here. Is he going to be able to make a move into the next corner? Probably not. But that hairpin does kind of look likely if he can get the braking zones just right here. Looks like he just brake a little bit later, coming around that corner. As we cut away again. Broadcasters, what are you doing? There's an awesome fight going. Oh, this is so disappointing. Back with Dreamer. It looks like he's dropped behind a bit. He's losing a bit of time on Klein. Klein really pushing now. Probably saw him on his back end, just really wants to get in front of him. There's another 40 odd laps. There's another pit stop to go. This is a one-stop race. These cars don't have enough fuel for 40 laps. So they are going to have to make a pit stop at some point. That timing of that pit stop is crucial in these races. Last race we saw, I can't remember who it was. I believe it was Barber actually, who took his pit stop reasonably early, about lap 15, and really came out ahead on that. I believe he took second, third in that round 1 at Donington. So that pit stop really is crucial here. Like we're seeing a lot of side-by-side action today, which has been good to see. Willard's getting a bit angsty behind Petrovic now. Probably going to be looking for the move soon. On board with Dreamer, not with Willard. Okay, getting a little confused with myself. He's getting a little bit angsty behind Klein as well. He's caught back up. He really wants to make that pass. Potentially give him a chance for the lead. And Clasher takes 16th from Johnson. And Johnson's taking it back, so we've got a fight down for 16th and 17th. Not a points-paying position, about 1.5 seconds behind the points-paying position, but that fight is still going on back and forth now. Johnson just about in the lead. I believe Clash is up the inside. Yes, he is. Is he going to make the move around there? Oh, not quite. Johnson just pulls ahead, but it was going to be side by side down the straight. Who's going to come out on top? Got a fast right-hander, don't forget. And then the slightly slow, it's sort of a mid-speed corner, mid-speed right-hander. Really got to try and be on the right line, but you can't always be when you're side by side. Coming into that corner now, we've seen people screw it up before. Are we going to see Clasher screw this up on the outside? Oliver Johnson goes wide, and that puts Clasher behind. Potentially ran out on the grass there, not quite sure. Potentially a little bit of dirty racing there from Oliver Johnson. Who knows? Lando now getting on the back end of Heejun. We're not looking at the battle right now, just looking at the timetables passing. Oh, Heejun's dropping down. What's happened to Heejun? Hopefully we'll see in just a second. Really dropping down the table. I think that's yeah, that's a retirement for Heejun. That's really unfortunate for him. He had such a decent result in the last race. Obviously not going to get one this race, not going to points pay. Sebastian now coming up to Willard. Looks like he's getting in a small amount of time, not too much. And Klein now really dropped that time down to Gott. Really, those two, Nima and Klein, really getting close to the leader there. Potentially going to be looking for a move soon. I hope you do see that. And there we are with them now. Klein, Gott, Klein, and Dreamer. 3 of them up in the front. 2 seconds ahead of 4th position. Swanson 0.7 behind 4th. Mad 1 second behind 5th. Baldini now with 2 seconds behind 6th. But Petrovic only 7/10 behind Baldini here. Perry only 4/10 behind Petrovic. Really got a sort of top midfield battle going on here. Not quite scrambling for position yet. I guarantee the drivers are thinking about the long term. Like I said, it's about an hour's race. So it's a long race. So you don't want to be scrapping all race. You just lose loads of time. Everyone wants to be trying to get higher up in that lead, but getting faster. But you don't also, at the same time, you don't want to be held up by the cars in front of you. Because it just costs you so much time, especially in these cars. Barry now catching up to Petrovic. Looks like he's a tad faster through there. I think Petrovic is a little bit faster through the rest of the lap though. Phoenix as well catching up on Steele there. The Martini style car. Numbered 69 of course. Can't have a Martini with about 69. Bit of 69, come on. Line losing a bit of time through what can only assume is the hairpin. It's probably where they were at that time, and Dreamer just catching up, just a 10th of a second, but 10th of a second is what matters in these races. Just tenths and tenths and tenths. Keep pulling those off. Just take a tenth every few laps, every lap, however long it takes. Take the tenths, you'll get there. Same with any endurance racing, I guess. Willard now, catching up to Petrovic. Ever so slightly. Now on the lead. See Klein's really getting close to his teammate there. See the same livery car. So yeah, cut away from that. Klein getting even closer there on the timesheets. Is he going to be looking for a move in the next few corners? Let's find out. Getting even closer now. He's definitely going to be looking for a move soon. It's only 2/10 from Gott now. Ooh, and a mistake. He's dropped back. Dreamer's closing in on him. 1/10. They're going to be... Oh! As Petrovic is falling down the order a bit. Oh, he spun! Petrovic has spun. Is that going to be a retirement, or is that, or is he going to spin it back round? I think that's going to be a retirement. Not too sure. Yeah, it's going to be a retirement for Patron and Petrovic. It's very unfortunate for him, leading the championship at the moment. Benny closing up on Barber. At least he was, now he's losing a bit of time again. Looks like these drivers, they're closing up and they're just making a mistake. Those little mistakes, they add up, you know. Just a few tenths, you lose a few tenths, and you've got to make that time back. It takes a long time unless the driver ahead makes a mistake as well. Here we are with Benes and Barber. And now Phoenix in the slipstream of steel. Not too much of a slipstream effect in these cars, but there's always something. Willard getting really close to Petrovic there. Phoenix as well, getting really up on the arse of Steel there. Clouds start rolling in. Very quick descent into darkness. Bit of mist there as well. Conditions worsening, track temperatures decreasing. Give less grip to the drivers, less mechanical, physical grip on the tyres. It's making it so much more difficult to turn, especially when you're side by side. And especially on that corner that only one driver's gotten right so far. Klein now right on the arse of Gott. He's really looking to make that pass. Dreamer just slowly but surely creeping up on Klein as well. Lando does seem to be closing that gap a little bit every lap. So, I think he is making a couple mistakes, kind of hindering him a little bit. Sebastian and Willard having a little battle there. Down for 18th and 19th. Laps to go. On board with Willard now. He's going to look to the inside. Is he? He's going to be looking for a pass. It looks like he kind of is. Sebastian's going to give him the space. Lost the camera. On board with Klein now. Catch up to try and catch up to Gott here. Sebastian and Willard just side by side, and Willard's passed. Willard has passed Sebastian for 18th place. He's getting one step closer to that points paying position of 15th. Klein now side by side with the leader of the race, battling for the lead. In, out, in, out. Shake it all about. Still side by side. Still side by side. I thought Klein got ahead there just for a second, but not quite. Got right back on him. Really, really good racing from those two. It's a real shame. And there we are on board with Gott. As I believe Klein has actually just passed him for the actual lead of the race. Or is he? Potentially still even side by side even. And Warren Phoenix has stopped cutting away from the lead, battle for the lead. My God! Klein and Gott still side by side. Potentially Klein's just gotten ahead, not quite sure obviously because I can't see the action, but yeah, it looks like Klein's gotten ahead now. Gott's fallen 5 tenths behind. Potentially made a mistake there. Nima looking towards Gott now as well, looking to take him. Of course, tyre wear isn't too much of a factor. All the drivers here running medium tyres. They normally last about, I would say, 60 laps or so. Around Donington at least. This track's quite similar in length, 3.9 kilometres compared to 4 kilometres. And Dreamer definitely looking for the run on Gott through the next few corners. Klein really pulled away that lead now. Ooh, just going a little bit wide on entry, and that's going to give Lando an opportunity to look up the inside. Doesn't quite make it, but he's going to look for the next corner. No, he's fallen back now. Dreamer's now 6/10 behind Gott. Gott's 1 second behind Klein. Klein's really pulling away with this now. 13 laps into this Grand Prix. Track with Benes now, 4/10 behind Barber in front for 9th and 10th position. Are we going to see a pass made anytime soon? Not quite sure. These guys have had similar pace all day. Sebastian even looking up the ass of Willard. And Tomad looking at Swanson. We've got quite a few looks at battles, potential battles in the next few laps here. Tomad comes around the final corner. And Gott's gotten ahead. Klein's in the pits. Klein has pitted at lap 14 of this Grand Prix. It worked out for Barber last time. Can it work out for Klein? Nima and Gott in a battle for the lead. I believe Gott's pitted now. Either that or that's a mistake. Not quite sure right now. Have to wait for the pit symbol if it even comes. But Dreamer leading this Grand Prix now, 14 laps in. Yeah, Gott is in the pits. He's retired. What's happened to Gott? Oh no, that's 16 retired. Klein. Wait, has Klein retired? No, Klein hasn't retired. Okay, we're good. Kind of thought Klein had retired there. I got a little bit worried. But no, Klein is now out of the pits. We have had 17 retirements in this race. It is only 14 and a half laps in. So we're on board with Dreamer now. Lando's actually taken the lead from him, but Dreamer's going to be looking up. Not going to be able to make any sort of move there, and Swanson right behind him as well. Dreamer falling off a little bit, and Swanson's made a mistake. He's off the track. Oh, that's going to be a retirement for Swanson. These cars can't take too much damage. They are very delicate cars, obviously carbon fibre monocoques. That's going to be Swanson out of the Grand Prix, out of the title fight. Lando's still leading this Grand Prix, nearly 15 laps in. Dreamer's fallen away now. Mad's fallen away from Dreamer. Baldini 1.8 seconds behind Mad. He's going to be able to close up that gap. I'm not too sure. And Benes and Barber having a fight for 6th and 7th right now. Wait, no! Barber's pitted. Okay, Barber and Oliver Johnson in the pits. Barber used this strategy last time in the round 1 at the Donington Grand Prix circuit. Is it going to work out for him this time? Obviously, he won the last Grand Prix. Worked out really well for him. Not already in that position this time, though. Obviously, last time he qualified first. He dropped down a little bit. He pitted, dropped down to loads. He was in 11th for most of the Grand Prix. Then everyone else pitted, and he was back in 2nd position. Managed to take 1st position before the end of the Grand Prix. Is that going to work out for him this time? We will find out in the next many laps, 25 laps. I am overwhelmed with everything that's happening right now. Sebastian looking up Willard now, 12th and 11th. Finally in points paying positions for them. Obviously, they've still got to pit. They're actually on... I was about to say they're on the soft tyre. They're not. They're on the medium tyre. That's for seconds, because I'm an idiot. Tomad only half a second behind Dreamer, falling back a bit, potentially made a mistake, and that's a move. That's Benes in the pits, Jacob Steele, Matt Young, and Clasher up 1 position, 6th, 7th, and 8th, respectively. And Benes dropping down to 11th now. Sebastian in the pits as well. both can be dropping down the order. Doesn't look like they're going to be dropping down too far, though. It's actually kind of good for them. Maybe another position. Yeah, there we go. Klein's taking the position back from those two. Oh, no, no. Swanson's not retired. Swanson got it going again. Swanson got that car going again. I don't know whether they've come in for repairs or not, but I can only assume he has some sort of steering damage or something, suspension damage on that car. There's Petrovich and Willard fighting now, just behind Clash, who we're on board with. You see now Willard looking up the inside, Petrovich closing the gap. Willard didn't quite have it, losing a bit of grip there. Little bit of understeer around that corner. Really losing a bit of time there. Clash gaining some time on Young as well. As Barber looks up the rear end of Benet. He's really going to want to get past Benet to make this strategy stick. Battle for the lead. Dreamenau's dropped behind 1.5 seconds from Lando. That's a significant difference. Lando really in his element now. Barber looking impatient. Really wants to get this move done. Getting a run down the main straight into the back corner. He's not going to be looking for a move just yet. Loses a bit of time there. Potentially going to be going for a move in the hairpin. So we watch Willard now coming up the what I like to think of as the second the straight. I don't know corner names here. I didn't pre-prepare for this. But Willard now 0.2 seconds behind Petrovich. 0.4 dropping back again now. Potentially got the same understeer he had before. Quite unfortunate for him. And Clasher now 0.3 of a second behind Young. Coming up to the final corner. Is he going to be able to make a move? Probably not here, but the next corner maybe. The hairpin maybe. It's going to be looking good for him. Barber now looking on Benet once again. Barber's still really on the behind of Benet. Clasher falling behind from Young. Here we go, back with Barber. Coming down the main straight now, on board. Let's see what this man can do. We've seen great feats from him before. Can he catch up far enough? Can he make a move stick? We're yet to find out. Clasher potentially looking for a move up the inside of Young there. Willard as well looking, seeing where he can go on Petrovich. Nowhere to go though. Petrovich really using that whole track to his advantage. And Barber as well, struggling to find a way past Benet. Really at the same pace right now. And not catching any time on Klein either. But Klein finding the time on Swanson now, as Perry and Baldini have pitted. Is that going to be a good strategy move for them? Potentially, they're quite far ahead of the rest of the pack. Are they going to come out ahead of Klein? That is the big question. Not quite sure if they are. I don't think they are. Not quite going to come ahead of Klein. But not far behind, that is for sure. 11th to 12th, Perry. Oh. My apologies. 13th. No. Okay, they're just moving down the order. Willard's still in the pits. Potentially he has damage. He's been in the pits for quite a while there. Don't know whether I've missed a memo or what. No, he's out of the pits now. Potentially had some damage. Maybe even changing his tyres. That would have been a big mistake from him. Changing your tyres around here. Should only ever be a refuel, really. So, potentially he may have had some damage. Dreamers, he's gained 7/10 in the past 3-4 laps or so, and he's gaining even more now. Gaining on Lando. They've still both got to pit, remember. So they've got a lot of fighting left ahead of them. 20 laps into this Grand Prix. 22 more to go. Dreamer now desperate to gain time on Lando. On board with Clasher. Unsure of who's pitted and who hasn't now. Swanson's in the pits. He's probably going to be in there for quite a while. Obviously, he definitely had some damage. I don't know whether he's going to be wanting to fix that or not. Guess we'll find out. If he's coming out last, then he probably did have damage. Aldini passed. Perry passed. 13th. 14th. 15th. Oh, and he just came out alongside Sebastian. 16th now. 17th, dropping right down to the back, but he's out of the pits now. He's not too far behind Willard there. It's going to make his race quite difficult. Obviously, those guys have all pitted already. Left to pit, definitely are Lando, Mad, Steele, Young, Cland, Clasher. I know those are for sure. Klein's really come up the field already. He's driving like a maniac today. Back up into 8th from after pitting. And Tomad now in the pits. Just getting to the 6/10 there. That's Young that just had a bit of a moment there with a bit of oversteer. Is Clasher going to make the move? Not quite. A little slow through the hairpin. That's going to put him back behind. As Tomad actually comes out in 7th. Tomad's actually gotten the jump on Klein. So potentially pitting later in this Grand Prix has actually worked out for Tomad, as he's had to put less fuel in the car now, giving him a shorter pit stop time. And he's come out on top of Richard Klein 6/10 ahead. He is in front of what was the leader of the Grand Prix, or at least second, I believe, when he pitted. Dreamer really looking towards Lando now. Only 5/10. He's made up 2/10 in the past lap. Clasher as well, gaining back on Young. As Young seems to make a mistake through that corner. Clasher gains a couple of tenths. Many tenths. They're going to be side by side. Clasher is past. Young has gone into the pits. Young has pitted. Is that going to work out for him? Potentially not. Could work out just the same as it did for Tomad though. Probably won't come ahead of Klein. He was quite far behind initially. But he has made up quite a bit of time. So potentially looking at 10th, 11th here. Coming out of the pits. Tomad passes and Klein does pass as well. Down to 10th now. Down to 11th. Down to 12th. And he's going to make it out on 12th, I believe. Oh, just about makes it out in 12th. That's pretty good for him, given his starting position. And where he was before all the pit stops. Lap 24 of 42 now. More than halfway into the Grand Prix. Oliver Johnson looks around Matt Young. Matt Young? I don't remember his name. Young. Potentially seeing if he can make some sort of move in the next corners. On board with Barber now. 0.6 seconds behind Bene in front. Who respectively is 1 second behind Perry, who's 5 seconds behind Baldini, who's 1.5 seconds behind Klein, who's 8 tenths behind Tomad, who's 0.1 laps behind Petrovic, who... And Dreamer has pitted now. Is that going to work out for him? I don't think it's going to work out as well as Klein. Klein's really been pushing hard these last few laps. Really making the most of his fuel. Of the weight in that car. Really being able to throw it around. One thing I found in these cars, it really is a little easier to get it around the track. The order really switching up right now as Dreamer goes down to 6th. He comes out in 6th. 2.4 seconds behind Baldini, who's 1.2 seconds behind Klein, who's 1.2 seconds behind Tomad. Lando's still out in front, still yet to pit. Still yet to pit, which makes Tomad the current provisional pole. This is insane. Although what I am thinking right now, Tomad is half a lap behind Lando right now. Is Lando going to be able to make a pit and still come out on top of Tomad? There he goes into the pits. Is he going to be able to make it in front of Tomad? I don't know if he will. It's a good 30 odd second pit stop. There he is in front of, behind Steele now. Steele leading the Grand Prix. Still yet to pit. Tomad, sorry, closing up on Lando. Is Lando going to get out in time? Oh my god, he is! Lando has pulled off the most amazing strategy here. But can Steele pull it out even further before he goes into the pits? He's probably only got a few laps left before he needs to pit. If we can get on board, we can probably see how much fuel he has left in that car. So from what we've seen, you need to be half a lap ahead to come out on top. And of course, Steele will have to put even less fuel in the car. It's going to be a close one. Petrovic and Willard now fighting side by side. It's going to this corner. You can see Willard giving the space on the inside. Oliver the Dame, you got to give the space. Coming into the next corner, still side by side. Got to turn in. A little bit of understeer that I can see there, still side by side. Swanson right behind, side by side on the back straight. On the run into that right-hander, the right-hander after that everybody's finding so difficult. Are they going to be able to make it stick? Not the best camera angle for that, but Petrovic has actually gotten ahead already. What an amazing battle from those two. Amazing feats of racing. Steele is actually losing time to Lando right now. What have I said? The more fuel in the car, there's like a sweet spot. It's like 30, 15 litres. Probably more. That's actually a sweet spot for the car. The car just seems to turn in so much better. Not for qualifying, obviously, but for the race, when you're trying to drive nice and smoothly, the car just likes turning. It's so much easier to handle with that fuel in the car. And Lando really finding that out now. He's actually keeping up with Steele here. 0.3 laps, it dropped to 0.2 earlier. Dropping to 0.2 again, he's really on that brink. I don't think Jacob's going to be able to make the pit stop without falling behind Lando again. It's going to be close though, and there he is into the pits. Every time I say it, they go into the pits. Is he going to make it ahead of Lando? Oh, I'm not quite sure. I don't think he is. I think he's going to be too late. Is he on the move again? Yeah, I don't know. No, Lando's going to get past. Tomad's going to get past. Baldini's going to get past. Just out of the pits, but Dreamer's going to get past as well. That is a terrible mistake for Steele, and Perry, and Bennett, and Barber. He's still in the pits. Just getting out now. Slight glitch with our timing screen there then. Telling us he was out of the pits. That was potentially coming out of the box and into the pit lane. Had a little bit of a glitch there. But now down into 9th is Steele. Although potentially some of these above him still yet to pit. Dreamer's in 5th right now. Really not worked out for him. Top 5 then are Lando, Tomad, Richard Klein, Baldini, and Nima Dreamer. Boy, has this been an intense one. And now, of course, an intense battle for the lead for the next 14 laps. Yeah, 14 laps. I've got my maths right. It's going a little bit wonky. "14 laps. Hard racing up at the front. Everyone just trying to get closer. Dreamer's fallen behind. 2.7 seconds from Baldini. Baldini's edging closer to Klein. Klein really struggling to keep up with Tomad, and it's Klein and Baldini side by side right now. Not quite sure where they are on the track. Probably the first corner of the hairpin, and Klein falling behind now. Baldini making the pass on Klein, edging closer to Tomad as well. Klein just about trying to come back now. As we're following the boring battle down at the bottom. And Klein on board with Klein now as he's behind Baldini. Is he going to be able to make a move along the straight? Is that slipstream going to have any sort of effect on him? I'm not quite sure. The slipstream here, like I've said, isn't all too good. It certainly is something. No, Klein not going to be able to make the move. Benny now edging closer to Perry for that 6th position. And Barber close behind as well. Are any of them going to be able to make any moves in the next 11 laps? 13 laps. I can math. Steele now gaining on Barber with some ferocity. Gaining in time, losing time. It's going back and forth. Down to the 4-second range now. back up to 6th. It's really not working out well for Steele right now. Or is it? Because he keeps getting down in there. On track with Barber now. Still can't quite see Steele in the background yet. Just 12 laps left in this Grand Prix. Starting to look like Lando is going to come on top here. Tomac just not able to make up that time. He's been stuck at 7-ish tenths for the past few laps. Just edging into the 6/10ths range. Quite making it yet though. He has got another 12 laps, so he's got plenty of time. But to him, that's certainly not an eternity. Must feel like he's got 2 laps, but it's going to feel like 20. Solidly in the 6/10ths region now, really edging close to Lando. Barber as well, edging closer to Bene. As is Johnson on Young, getting it down to 3/10ths now. Is he going to be looking for a move in the next few corners? He's getting a little angsty behind him. Looks to the inside, just a quick dash. Doesn't quite think the best of it. So lost him a little bit of time there. Clash should catch up a bit. Johnson now catching back up. Lando really pushing hard. Tomac really struggling to keep that time. Even dropping back now. Almost to 1 second behind Lando. Really is starting to look like Lando's going to take the victory here at Brands Hatch. I remember the track. Swanson down in 17th. Starting to look towards that taking that 16th position from Willard. Johnson and Clasher itching to get past Young and Johnson respectively. Barber as well, itching to get behind Bene. They just can't seem to make any sort of move. They can't keep the time they gain on them. Clasher falling behind, just like I'm trying to say. Baldini way behind, Klein way behind Baldini. Nima's catching up on Klein though. Johnson now really getting on that rear end of Young. As is Swanson on Willard. Really does feel like Barber's just trying to trundle along this race. It's kind of a Clasher and Johnson side by side for 11th position. Clash is going to fall behind, but they're side by side again. Clash is going to have to take that behind position, or is he still side by side as they come up to the next corner? Who's going to come out on top by the end of this straight? I guarantee someone will. If someone doesn't, then someone has to by the next corner, surely. It does look like Johnson's going to come on top, but Clash is going to be itching to get that position back. He isn't quite able to get anything done, though. Really falling behind Johnson now. As Swanson looking up the inside of Willard. Willard's going to leave the space, but Swanson, lack of grip. Same with Willard. Willard runs wide, and it's going to be side by side through the next corner. Willard just keeping it on the track, unlike so many other drivers today. So we watch his face, because that's an interesting viewpoint. Willard now falling behind Swanson. Swanson's made the move for 16th. He's going to be looking towards 15th now, looking for that points-paying position. In the last, I ran out of air. That's how intense this is. Oh my. Yeah. In the last 7 laps of this Grand Prix. Swanson has fallen behind, however. 2 seconds separating from Petrovic. That points-paying position is looking less and less likely for him as the clouds descend once again. We had a period of a sunny spell. Are we going to see rain by the end of this Grand Prix? Would make the end quite interesting. Dreamer now, getting up on Klein, looking for that 4th place. Klein seems to be making a lot of mistakes at the moment. Probably quite put off about the jump that Lando, Mad, and well, mostly Lando and Tomad that they got on him the jump. Track with Nima now in that white and orange car. Really getting angsty behind Klein now. He hasn't got much time left. Only 6 laps left in this Grand Prix. Gaining time down the straights. Quite a lot of understeer for him though, but he's keeping up. Klein's really having issues at the moment. Starting to wonder if that's endurance based or if that's car based or just lack of skill. Unsure at the moment, but I suppose we'll definitely see as the season goes on. Dreamer edging closer, looking down the inside to the first corner. Be side by side. Wish we could see the action right now. Be side by side through the hairpin. Looks like Dreamer might be making the move there. And he has, he's done it. Dreamer's into fourth. Going to be gaining on Baldini as well. He's going to be able to take the third position before the end of the race. Young and Johnson side by side. Coming up to the hairpin now. Young on the outside, Johnson on the inside. It's making it difficult for this corner, but they're still side by side into the next corner. That's going to make it easier for Young. He's got the next two corners to be on the inside. Next one corner now. Is he going to be able to make it on this corner? We've seen so many people go on the outside. And Johnson's already made it, but Young's going to be coming back on the inside. Back side by side down the straight. Young's got a really good run down the straight. Is he going to be ahead by the next corner? I think he is. No, they're still side by side. Oliver Johnson and Matt Young fighting for 10th and 11th right now. This is intense. And Oliver's got it. Oliver Johnson has 10th position solidly now. Clash is looking to reap the benefits of that battle. He's really caught up during that. Dreamer cutting down the time every lap. Is it going to be enough? It's got to make up over a second a lap right now. And Barber and Benes for 7th and 8th side by side. Through the first corner into the hairpin. Once again, the cameraman doing an amazing job of keeping us in the action. Nothing I can do about that. It's all an automated system. I think Barber's come out on top now, unless they are still almost side by side. It looks to be that way. And yes, they are coming down the back straight now. The straight. Still side by side. Bene getting the run. But Barber has the inside line as they come into the fast right-hander. Down the straight. Still fighting for position. Bene falls behind. Barber on top. Just the way he likes it. Bene really falling behind now. Still looking to pick up the pieces. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it though. Unless he is 2/10 behind now. Falling behind in the final corner. Just 3 laps to go in round 2 of the Praga Cup at Brands Hatch. Dreamer not going to look like he's going to get it. Tomad falling behind as well. Either way, going to be amazing results for those 4. 5 even. I believe Klein retired in the previous race. Clash are now desperate to get that 11th position. So many more points up for grabs. Steele edging back ever so slowly to Benes. Clash are really itching for that position. He really wants it. He really wants to get himself in that much better points pen position. Obviously, they're both good results. Still now, really good in the braking zones. Coming down to the hairpin now. Coming out of the first corner on exit. Getting really close. Braking so much later than Bene there. But coming out so much worse. Potentially brakes a bit too late into that corner. looking for the run. Actually going to get one down the straight. Benny looking a little slow through that corner. Slightly better exit though. Looking for the run down the straight. See the concentration in his face. It's what we love to see. Clasher now looking up the inside of Young. Not going to quite make it work. A little bit of understeer. That's going to make him slide a bit, lose a bit of time. That's going to make that count just out for the count. And Steele just losing a little bit of time on Bene as well. Probably the same things. Tyres just starting to wear. Now, tyre wear really starting to come into play. Losing so much grip. These guys racing the tyres so hard. Down the main straight now, Clasher and Young. Still in that luminous green and white Praga. Beautiful livery if I do say myself. Coming around the bend, just edging ever so closely, but Bene really has it on the exit of corners. Really struggling to find that time at the moment. There's only 1.5 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. Edging ever so close, ever so much closer. Just not quite enough at the moment. Not losing so much time in the exit now. I think Bene may be suffering from that tyre wear. Are we going to see a pass made before the end of the Grand Prix? This is pretty much the only battle we have left going on. Leader Lando's on the final lap now. Final lap of the Grand Prix. Now or never. It's now or never, Steele. Ninth is a good position, but he must know 8th is what he wants. And in his mind, he's going to get it. I guarantee that man will not settle for what he's got. He's always pushing, always trying to win. You can see that in the relatives there. Edging closer, and Tomat as well edging closer. I don't think it's going to be enough this lap though. Too late on the pushing there. It's close though. Lando could still make a mistake. Coming around the final corner now. And it's going to be Lando across the line for first place, closely followed by Tomat, closely followed by Boldini. 4 seconds behind, it's Nima Dreamer and Richard Klein. Matthew Perry coming in 6th. Barber in 7th. Bene in 8th. Steele in 9th. Johnson in 10th. Matt Young's going to be coming in at 11th. Clasher in 12th. Forrest for 13th. Linus Sebastian coming in at that 14th. Petrovic for 15th. Swanson for 16th. Willard 17th.